Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Sorry for that little weird whatever that was there for a second. I clicked the wrong button, but we're good. We're live. And yeah, sorry that I'm, 14, 15 minutes past the hour. My daughter was getting ready for bed, and she slipped in the bathroom, so had to take care of that. But it's all good. She's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. She just, wet floor, wet shower, whatever, slipped. So it's all good. But now, we're here to talk about SmackDown. Friday Night Smackdown. Let's see who's here with us in the live chat before we get going. We've got Eric Tate. We've got a George John Cox. We've got a Derek Bocek. We've got Sinclair Saturday. Daniel Mulinax. Nicholas Altimore. Josh Vega. And so many more of you. Well, tonight's SmackDown. It was a pretty good show. I enjoyed it overall. I thought everything flowed pretty well for the most part. And basically, almost everything that they did tonight made sense. Now, I'll tell you where where I get as far as the almost. Because there was just a very random thing that happened, and there was no real payoff. There was no real anything to it. To be 100% completely honest. And we'll get to that. But before we do, got a little housekeeping for you. We got to tell you what's going on with PWUnlimited. So right now, if you head over to the PWUnlimited TeePublic store, everything is 35% off. All you have to do is go over to bit.ly/PWU store now. And everything from shirts, hoodies, stickers, cell phone cases, pins. Yeah, we've got pins now on our store. Everything. 35% off. And not just our designs, but the designs, like I tell you all the time, of the incredible artists that we do get to spotlight on our channel. Yeah, we may make $1 by spotlighting them if you buy one of their designs, but they make the big bucks. They get the benefits. We help them out, and you guys are helping them out. Helping them out as far as they make a couple bucks, they can make more designs. They can make more t-shirts, more cell phone covers, more stickers. So go over to bit.ly/PWU store right now. No promo code needed. Everything is 35% off. So now, let's talk a little SmackDown. So, I don't know. I spoke with somebody that was there live at the show in Manchester to get the spoilers. And I don't know if what I was told was just how they told it to me, or if they taped things out of order, because from what I was told, or at least the way they made it seem to me, was that Tyson Fury Braun Strowman thing was the end, was the last thing. But as we saw tonight, the Roman Reigns Baron Corbin match was the main event. So I don't know if maybe it was just told to me out of order, or they filmed it out of order. If anybody was there and here on the live chat, let me know. Let me know. So the show kicked off with Baron Corbin. And I liked Corbin's promo at first. I thought this was a really good promo. And I'm like, why is the heel making sense? So Corbin made his way down to the ring to kick off SmackDown. This was after they showed a video recapping what happened last week. He talked about Survivor Series in 2 weeks and noted that it's Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT, and the fans chanted for NXT. Corbin discussed NXT invading SmackDown last week and blamed Roman Reigns for allowing that to happen. Like, Roman wasn't even there. Roman wasn't even... Actually, he should blame himself as well, because I believe that... So, if you're unaware, last week they got a plane to get some people out of Saudi Arabia. I know there's the whole hashtag not top 20 thing, and that's not what it was at all. The people that tried to leave early were the people that were advertised for SmackDown. So you would think that was both Roman and Baron Corbin. So if Baron's going to be mad that Roman wasn't there to stop the NXT guys, well, you too, goob. So he noted, he started talking all these great things about Roman, saying that he fought leukemia and he won. Now he spends all of his time with his family, though. And he doesn't care about being a world champion because he doesn't want the pressure anymore. Corbin said that Roman Reigns, he's a 3-time world WWE champion, 1-time Universal champion, main event at WrestleMania 4 times, and then he mocked Reigns and challenged him to come to the ring and goes, oh, wait, I know you're not here. Then he said, and this is where the whole promo shit away. He said, Roman's bark is nothing more than a chihuahua. And then they put the Roman Reigns Pitbull or whatever it is graphic up on the screen, and it started, yip, 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 yip. And I'm like, you just killed the promo, because Corbin was killing it until this. So Corbin said that he will face Roman Reigns later tonight. Roman's not man enough to come out here tonight. Bada boom. So in the back, we see the New Day walking around. Well, actually walking to the ring, and they're stopped Caleb Braxton. They said they have a message for the injured Xavier Woods. Big E told Woods, don't drop the soap. And Kofi said, hey, I've already told you more than once. He's not in jail. They then promised to defeat the Revival because they need that 7th championship. And Big E goes, yeah, we got to catch up to Charlotte Flair. Pretty funny line there. So going forward, we did get the New Day challenging the Revival for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Before the match, they announced Raw Tag Team Champions versus the NXT Tag Team Champions versus the SmackDown Tag Team Champions once again for Survivor Series, and we know that match is changing. Kingston went for a quick pin early on. No avail. The heels tried to isolate Kofi on their side of the ring, but he fought back and tagged in E. New Day was firmly in control when Dash Wilder injured his knee, so we thought clutched it as we went to commercial. After the commercial break, we found out that he was just faking it, and then Big E hit him with a belly-to-belly suplex. Well, actually, that was before the break. After the break, we found out he was faking it to trick Big E. Finally, Big E got tagged out he tagged out to Kofi. Kofi ran wild, hit a dive to the floor. Revival hit a superplex splash combo for a near fall. Dash Wilder went for a tornado DDT on Kingston, but he fought back and hit an SOS for a 2. The heels then took over and hit a double draping DDT for a close near fall, and I think it was Corey Graves who goes, that's an homage to the Viper. Yet, we're not getting them and Randy together. They're on separate brands, so boo. I wish they were together. Randy Orton wishes they were all 3 together. I digress. Finish of the match did come when the Revival went for the Shatter Machine on Big E, but Kingston made a blind tag. Big E held Wilder as Kingston hit a Trouble in Paradise and pinned him to become the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. On commentary, Corey Graves claimed that Kingston no longer has to doubt himself. Yes, he's been in doubt over the last month after losing the championship in 7 seconds to Brock Lesnar, but now he's a champion again, and now he can live the high life, I guess you can say. So in the back, Roman Reigns is walking in. He apparently just got there because he had been doing some quote-unquote charity work. Shorty G walks up. You can kind of hear what he's saying. And he stops Roman and goes, hey, I know you probably didn't hear, but Corbin was in the ring talking crap about you. And then you don't hear anything else. He doesn't say talking crap, but basically he's like, Corbin's out there talking smack, da-da-da-da-da, telling him everything. And I'm like, this fool's a narc. Goddamn Shorty G ain't just a guy that thinks he's cool looking on the blacktop, but he's also that kid at school that's like, I want to fit in, but at the same time, I want to fit in with the cool kids. So if one of the bullies says something bad about them, I'm gonna go tell them, so they can get mad. Not like Roman wasn't gonna hear about it from somebody else anyways later, but no, Shorty G was he literally sitting there in the garage waiting for Roman to show up so he can be like, I'm going to tattle. I'm going to tattle. Like, what the fuck? What the hell? So then, backstage, Sami Zayn approached Daniel Bryan. He noted that he asked Bryan to join him and Shinsuke Nakamura, and apparently Cesaro too. Zayn claimed that Bryan would have won the NXT Championship if it wasn't for... He said Bryan would have won the NXT Championship last week if he was in his corner. He would have made sure that Bryan would have won. He pointed out Nakamura has been more successful since pairing with Sami Zayn. He said he even asked Cesaro. Cesaro has been on an upswing. And I'm like, has he? You got him in a match 2 weeks ago, and he's the one that took the pin. I don't take that as an upswing there, buddy boy. He then said later on tonight, Cesaro and Nakamura will be taking on Ali and Shorty G, and he told Bryan, hey, watch closely so you can see what I can do for you. So then randomly Heavy Machinery comes down to the ring, and they're standing there, waiting in the ring, and this is where I said this was the most random thing ever. All of a sudden, Imperium, Walter, Fabian Eichner, Marcel Barthel, and Alexander Wolf just attack them. They attack Heavy Machinery, the New Day, and a bunch of other SmackDown guys run down to the ring, and Imperium just runs. Nothing else. Never talked about again throughout the show. Super random. Not going to give any Raw spoilers, but it's just super random. Why didn't they at least make reference to it later? Why didn't somebody catch up with Imperium in the back and be like, what are you doing here? Why did you run away so quickly? Why did you run away so easily? Is there a reason you're here? Is NXT UK now involved with the NXT brand as far as Survivor Series? Because that doesn't make any goddamn sense either. But no, nothing. In the back, Kayla then interviewed SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley and Sasha Banks. Bayley noted that NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler jumped her last week. She pointed out that it was Bayley and Banks that put the NXT Women's Division on the map, and none of the women there now can hold a candle to them, and they wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for the two of them. Banks promised to defeat Nikki Cross later tonight, and Bayley promised to beat Baszler and Banks at Survivor Series. She said they said on Monday that they're just gonna keep an eye on me. No, they need to do more than keep an eye on me. So then we got Nakamura and Cesaro taking on the team of Ali and Shorty G. Daniel Bryan at one point did come out on the ramp to watch. The heels had the early advantage and isolated Shorty G. Shorty G fought back and attempted a tag, but Cesaro caught him. He went for the victory roll, and Cesaro made the tag. Ali ran wild and hit a huge tornado DDT. Only got a near fall off of it. Shorty G then suplexed Nakamura out of the ring, but Cesaro nailed Shorty G with an uppercut. Ali attempted a crossbody, but Cesaro caught him, and the announcers made this seem like the biggest marvel ever. Like, oh my God, he caught him out of midair. Cesaro is the strongest man alive. Da-da-da. It's like, we see people do this all the time. Strowman catches guys all the time. I've seen Killian Dane catch guys out of midair. It's not, I guess, because Cesaro's smaller than a lot of the guys that do it. I guess that's why you would think it's a bigger deal. I don't know. Nakamura then attempted a Kinshasa, but Ali hit a super kick. Ali climbed to the top, but Zayn interfered. Cesaro then pushed Ali off the top. Nakamura hit that Kinshasa and was victorious. After the match, Zayn invited Bryan to come down to the ring and celebrate, and Bryan walked off. So then we got Sasha Banks and Nikki Cross in singles action, and Banks has got new music. It is a new remix of her normal theme song, but got Snoop Dogg involved. Pretty cool. Bayley was also on commentary for this match. Banks had the early advantage and choked Cross with the middle rope. Bayley was very impressed, and the fans started singing for Bayley, and then she wasn't impressed. She said, Michael Cole said, why are you so mad at Corey Graves? And she said, because Corey always comes out here. She said, Corey always comes out here and tells me what I need to do. I need to be more aggressive. I need to have more of a mean streak. And then when I do it, he's just like, whatever, saying that I'm doing things wrong now. Like, she's not wrong. And Corey's just like, no, you're just doing it all wrong. You're not doing it for the right reasons and the right ways, or something like that, he said. And so Nikki Cross hit a crossbody off the apron onto Banks. Suddenly, she didn't care about Banks, and she went after Bayley. She attacks Bayley sitting there at ringside. Bayley then interferes, and Banks regained control. Cross fought back, and Banks rolled out of the ring. After commercial break, Banks hit a double knee for a close near fall. Cross fought back and hit a tornado DDT. She followed up with a splash and a bulldog. Cross attempted a crossbody, but Banks rolled through it into the Banks statement. Nikki Cross reversed it, but Banks rolled her up for a near fall. Cross then went for the neck breaker, but Banks hit a backstabber into the Banks statement, and, well, Nikki had to tap. Yes, Nikki Cross defeated 2 weeks in a row. And then after the match, Bayley would run in and attack Nikki Cross. And then suddenly, as Bayley attacked her, the NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler will then run in and attack Bayley, hit her with that same move that she hit her with last week. I don't know the move's exactly called. And then she walked off. Again, showing that she's more dominant and more, I guess you could say, evil than Bayley could ever be. And the crowd starts chanting very loud for NXT. So in the back, Sami Zayn caught up with Daniel Bryan again. He told Bryan, hey, forget about the yes movement and the yes chant. Just join us. Suddenly, the lights went out. The lights turned back on in red. Sami Zayn ran as fast as he could to get out of there, and the Fiend was standing behind Bryan. He then attacked Daniel Bryan and put the mandible claw on him. I don't know where this is leading to, because I thought Bryan was leading to a match with Nakamura where he could eventually win the Intercontinental Championship, but now looks like Bryan and the Fiend for the Universal Championship, when I had heard that the Fiend was going to go up against The Miz, someone he can just squash, and there we go. I know that there are a lot of upcoming house shows that has the Fiend versus The Miz with the title on the line advertised, but again, Bryan doesn't work many house shows, so maybe that's just the thing they're doing on the house shows. But I did hear as of last week that Miz would challenge and just get squashed. And that's why they were going to do that Miz TV thing last week. But we'll see where it all does lead. Now it does look like the Fiend and Daniel Bryan. Again, Welcome King Slender, same thing that I'm thinking, seems very random. And it does. Because I assumed, like I said, that Bryan was going to work with Nakamura based off of all this Sami Zayn stuff. And maybe they're going a different way now. So then they recapped Tyson Fury versus Braun Strowman from Crown Jewel. And then Fury made his way to the ring. He talked about traveling all over the world for different fights and different victories as well. Fury feels great to be home in Manchester. He spoke of his fight in February, but noted that he has unfinished business with Braun Strowman. And right on cue, out would come Braun Strowman. Fury thanks Strowman for the match at Crown Jewel, and then they shook hands. Like all of a sudden, they're cool, they're buds. Especially Braun wanted to kill this guy a week and a half ago, last week. I mean, Strowman lost and still laid the guy out. What, their phone call where they squashed the beef we don't know about? Super random, and both men are like, let's be a tag team. And then Strowman laughs and goes, ha, ha, there's nobody stupid enough in the back to want to take on all four of us and get all four, or take on the both of us and get all four of these hands. And again, right on cue, music of the B team. B team comes out and says, no, we're not stupid enough. We're just wanting to challenge you, or whatever he says. And I'm like, oh, are they fucking kidding me? Strowman then beats down the B team at ringside, throws him in the ring. Fury beats him down a little bit. Fury rocked Bo Dallas with the right, and Strowman took out Axel with a power slam. And then they smiled, cheered, laughed, all together in the ring. When a week ago, Braun just wanted to rip this guy's head off. Now he's like, Fury's like, let's be a tag team. And Strowman's like, basically, I've been thinking the same thing, bro. No. Very dumb. Sinclair Saturday, I don't know. He asked if Strowman and Fury could team at Mania. They keep teasing Fury wants Brock at Mania. I don't know if that's going to lead to anything, but we'll see. So they recapped King Corbin attacking Roman Reigns on WWE Backstage a few weeks ago, which was supposed to set up this match last week on SmackDown. So we learned earlier in the night that Sasha Banks is the captain for the Survivor Series Women's SmackDown team. I don't even know. So I guess there's going to be a women's match at Survivor Series. We don't know how many women on each team, and it's triple threat. Why? Triple threat. A Raw women's team, an NXT women's team, and a SmackDown women's team. We learn that Sasha's the captain, and there's a qualifying match. The team that wins, either Carmella and Dana Brooke or Fire and Desire, will advance and be on Team SmackDown. So the heels had the early advantage and isolated Carmella on their side of the ring. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville attempted a double suplex, but Carmella fought back. Deville regained control with a kick to the head. Dana Brooke got the hot tag and ran wild. Brooke scored a near fall, but Mandy Rose broke up the pin. Dana Brooke then sent Deville into the ring steps. She sent Deville back into the ring and hit a swanton bomb for the victory. Carmella and Dana will be joining Sasha Banks on Team SmackDown. Now, I think I also heard them say something about Nikki Cross maybe on the team as well, but they said it really fast at the beginning of the Nikki Cross-Sasha match, so I'm not sure. So I know for sure it's Sasha as the team captain with Carmella and Dana Brooke. So then we get our main event. Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns. So before the bell even rings, Reigns goes after Corbin. And Reigns beats on Corbin at ringside. And Corey Graves is yelling, "You can't start this match. Corbin's at a disadvantage. He was beat down before the match even started." And then all of a sudden the match starts and Corbin gets the brief advantage early. Reigns took back over with a big boot. Reigns set up for the Superman punch, but Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler would come down to ringside. Reigns attacked both of them, but Corbin gained the control. Corbin followed up a hard clothesline with another near fall. Reigns fought back and hit a flying clothesline for a 2 count. He set up a Superman punch, but Roode caused a distraction. Ziggler tried to attack Reigns, but he fought him off. Reigns then hit a spear on Ziggler, but Corbin then hit him with the End of Days and picked up the victory. Yes, Baron Corbin, or should I say King Corbin, defeated Roman Reigns. I don't know where this is leading to. One would assume that there's going to be a men's match at Survivor Series, so hopefully Roman and Corbin aren't feuding and then they're just on the same team. Now, if we go with like Roman's not on the team and Corbin, Ziggler, and Roode are on the team, I don't know. Haven't heard anything about the men's match. They didn't say anything about the men's match tonight. And we always get that wacky, these guys are feuding, but all of a sudden Survivor Series comes and they're just going to work together on the same team. So I hope we don't get Corbin and Reigns on this team together, but it's a good possibility because they're not going to want to leave both of these guys off the pay-per-view, and that may be the only way to get them both on there. But now, I want to hear from you guys. Yes, I want to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Friday Night Smackdown. If you do want to call in and give me your thoughts, you can do so at 510-906-1341. No, that's the text message line, 906-1341. If you want to call in, you can do so at 559-475-8473. Again, call in is 559-475-8473. Let me know what you thought of tonight's Smackdown from Manchester, England. See if we've got any text messages here. I think we've got one. This person says, with WWE doing the tapings here tonight, and then one assuming that they will do more pre-taped shows at the end of December, do you think that can or cannot hurt the ratings? And I'm not 100% sure on this, because we have seen in the past when they do these shows where they tape them the same day, and they're maybe on like a 3-4 hour delay, that doesn't hurt the ratings that much. But they're, at least Raw, they're on a 3-day delay, so that could hurt the ratings. And then when he's talking about more tapings coming in December, if they do the same thing they did last year. Last year, they taped, I think it was Christmas a week in advance, and then I can't remember exactly how they did New Year's. And those ratings were okay. So like he's asking, do you think doing all these pre-taped shows well in advance is going to hurt the ratings, and I don't think it's going to hurt it that much. But you also got to think, coming up, those are Christmas. How many people is really going to watch Christmas week? And here's the other thing. We may not have to get a pre-tape on, because it's not going to be on Christmas Day this year, I don't think. So we'll see how it all does go down. But if you do want to text in, you can do at 510-906-1341. If you want to call in, you can do at 559-475-8473. Looking at the text messages, I don't want to talk Raw spoilers. I got a couple text messages that do have Raw spoilers, and I don't want to talk about that. Looking here, more Raw spoilers asking about. So I'm just going to say there was a match advertised for Raw during SmackDown tonight that earlier in the day, they didn't even film. Well, they filmed, how do I say this? Partially as it was advertised, but not 100% as advertised, as there are multiple people in this match, and one person was replaced off of, multiple people in this match, but the match doesn't go down as advertised, per se, if that makes sense. And I've got like 4 text messages asking me about why that happened. And I don't know, it makes no absolute sense whatsoever. Okay, if you do want to call in, 559-475-8473. If you don't got any people wanting to call in, we can just end the show early. We do have a couple more text messages. This person here does state, why would they have Daniel Bryan go up against The Fiend? The Fiend should not be losing in his first match, and Daniel Bryan should not be losing right now either. I mean, if they're gonna put somebody up against The Fiend that is gonna lose, but the fans won't hate that much that he loses, I guess Bryan's okay because the fans love Daniel Bryan, and if The Fiend beats him, oh well, the fans are still gonna love him. But at the same time, we thought the same thing about Seth. But it was also, ever since like Extreme Rules, Seth has kind of been just this wacky, goofy baby face that nobody really, cares about. So that's a whole different story anyways. Just looking at the text messages here. Last text message here. Person sent in 2. Got a Raw question again. Not fielding Raw questions because this is not a spoiler show. This person here says, Corey Graves on commentary mentioned Shorty G ratting out Corbin and what he said to Roman Reigns. Do you think that will play into anything going forward, like Corbin wanting to get retribution on Shorty G because of how Roman came out a house of fire at the start of the match? This is a long text message. At the start of the match because of what G told him. I mean, I wouldn't hold WWE that much continuity, but, I mean, it would make sense. So basically what he's asking is, Roman wasn't there when Corbin was in the ring talking crap, but then Shorty G told him what Corbin said. Roman then came down to the ring for his match, all kinds of pissed off, and attacked Corbin before the match started. So could you attribute that to Shorty G tattling and Corbin now wanting to beat up Shorty G? Maybe, but again, I don't see WWE having that much continuity, and we do got a text message coming in, so let's take a call. Caller, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Tim, how's it going?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Well, pretty good. Happy weekend. But, I want to ask, what's going on with Daniel Bryan? For two reasons. One, I thought he was going to start a feud with, Nakamura, and 2, is he like a baby face, or what's up with him?
I would assume he's a baby face now. And like you said, you thought he was going to do something with Nakamura. I thought he was still doing something with Nakamura 10 seconds before The Fiend showed up.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, they're doing the whole thing where I guess Sammy's trying to start a stable, and so he's recruiting Daniel Bryan, and Bryan's reluctant, and I assume that would lead to finally Sammy saying, you don't want to join me, we'll just take you out, and then it leads to a match. But I don't think The Fiend just attacking him is going to lead to nothing. It could.
Oh, for sure, especially Daniel Bryan.
Exactly. Bryan's going to come out next week or something and be like, hey, what was that all about? I'm not just going to lay down and take that.
Yeah, and then for that, I'm taking your title of Survivor Series, some crap like that. Well, he's not doing like the yes movement or the yes chance, whatever the hell you want to call it anymore, or he's still not doing it as of right now. So that's why I'm kind of confused.
Exactly.
Because that's a really big thing. Hell, even sports people do that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to get your opinion. I really didn't like how, this is my personal opinion, they did the stuff with the New Day beating the Revival, because those SmackDown tag titles mean nothing, and I thought that maybe since the brand split would happen, going on Fox, SmackDown, they would make those titles look more legit, but those titles mean absolutely nothing, to be honest with you. And then, I'm a big fan of the Revival, so taking the titles off them, even though they mean nothing, just kind of made me mad. But what's your opinion on that?
I get where you're coming from. As Revival they haven't really had the titles that long, and I could see where you're coming from as far as they should build the titles up more significantly. Again, the New Day didn't even do anything to earn this title shot. Their last match before this, not counting Saudi Arabia, they lost. And then they just come out here and win. And how many times have those tag titles switched over the last 6 months? A good number.
Yeah, no kidding.
I would assume.
I
would assume the New Day probably holds them for a couple of months. At least I would hope. Especially what they're doing the whole thing with, Kofi can feel good about himself again. So maybe Kofi and Big E can do a couple defenses, defeat a couple teams while defending their titles, and Kofi's back to happy-go-lucky Kofi.
Yeah, no kidding. As far as the whole, how many titles, opportunities people got, I like the thing with Shelton Benjamin a couple weeks ago with Rey Mysterio. He pushes Rey. Oh, that's an Intercontinental title shot. That's the United States. That actually kind of made me laugh because it's kind of true.
But that was also backwards as well, because if you think about it, Brock was the one that bullied Rey, not Cain Velasquez, because he was like, if you get bullied, we get a title match. Your buddy Kane's getting a title match because you got bullied. But Brock was the one that bullied, not Cain. So that was kind of reversed and backwards as well. And I was confused by that whole thing, because I'm like, wait, did Cain bully Rey before and we just didn't know about it? I don't know. I was trying to make some sort of logic of it.
Yeah, it's hard to do with the WWE. And
right.
Finally, my last thing is, did I miss something? Was England rude? Do they in case what's their beef with Roman? Like, did I miss something?
I think they're just.
Weeks?
I think there's. I haven't seen anything. I think they're just trying to start stuff. Like get stuff going, as we saw on Raw this week for past Survivor Series. So maybe this can lead to something past Survivor Series. As far as
that makes sense.
They like to have Corbin have some cronies. They've done it on Raw when he had McIntyre and Strowman, and now I guess they're going to do it on SmackDown with Ziggler and Rude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Corbin. Yeah, like you said, Corbin was his promo earlier. It was good, then it kind of died. But Corbin is good, but he always seems to have a faction with him. Right. I don't know if that's good or bad, but whatever. So, all right. Well, I'll let you get other callers.
Right.
Have a good weekend.
All right. Thanks for the call. And have a great night. All right. So with that, if anybody else does want to call in, you can do so at 559-475-8473. Got another text message here. This one does say, where was it? I accidentally clicked off of it. Yeah, no, I'm not even going to read that one because that one makes completely no sense. Oh, here's a good one. The other person says, is there any update on Lars Sullivan? And last we heard, Lars was not expected to come back. I believe he had a knee injury. He was not expected to come back until early next summer, late spring. And according to Fightful Sean Ross Sapp, he had heard that Lars Sullivan is not recovering and I guess you could say rehabbing on schedule. He's actually recovering slower than expected for said injury. And so who knows how long it's going to be till Lars Sullivan ever comes back. And maybe it's for the best. The longer he's out, the more people forget about him and all that stuff that happened when they had to fine him and this and that and this botching him at first. So maybe he can be gone for a year and then they could build him back up as this big menacing monster coming back and do it right this time. But I don't know how long he's supposed to be out because, like I said, it's being reported that his recovery is slower than expected. But with that, I'm going to wrap things up here. I want to say thank you to everybody who did join me here live to talk about tonight's Friday Night Smackdown. Thank you to everybody who watches later right here on YouTube and listens on podcast services all around the world. We will be live tomorrow night after AEW Fight for the Fallen. No, AEW Full Gear. I don't know why I said Fight for the Fallen. Oh, because I heard Cody talking about it earlier. Anyways, tomorrow night is Full Gear, All Elite Wrestling on pay-per-view. We will be live following that show. So have a good night, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow to talk AEW.